Om Shanti. Welcome everyone to tonight's program. For tonight, we have the topic for health through happiness. Rona will be sharing some of her experiences and some methods to use to experience health through happiness, especially when our health is not that great. She will explain how we will find a way to experience happiness if we are sick or our body is not 100%. Om Shanti.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Thursday evening sessions of the Manhattan Meditation Center. And as was mentioned, tonight's topic, health through happiness, with a little focus on happiness, emphasis on happiness. Now, in interactions with others, a simple smile can generate a lot of positive feelings. And definitely a smile invites another smile. In the same way, an inner smile creates a certain inner environment of harmony. And so it would be useful to explore how we can have this inner smile and how we can maintain this inner smile. And I don't think it needs lots of intelligence to understand that if one is happy, it will favor the body in a positive way. It will affect the body in a way that creates positive hormones in the body. And even if if the body is weak or if there is some illness at the level of the body, when we are happy inside, when there is a mind that is at a deeper level content, we will be more strong and we will be able to deal with the physical weakness or with the illness in a better way. And so it is useful to explore happiness. And it is useful to keep in mind that our state of mind affects our body, and that the level of our happiness helps the body be more resilient, helps the body immune system to be stronger. And even if there is illness, it will help you to deal with that illness better. Now, generally, our mood and our state of mind is affected by the condition of the body. There is some illness going on and it just makes us more weak mentally because we feel sad or we complain or we have all these obsessive thoughts about the illness, and that just makes the whole process, makes the body and the mechanisms around health and illness, it worsens it. So the one angle in spirituality is the creation of a mind that is content, the creation of a mind that experiences peace, the creation of a mind that is more able to be happy and happy in a stable way. And of course, as we were mentioning, that will favor the body positively. So this talk, I would like to emphasize a bit more on happiness itself. And if you have questions about illness or how that relates to illness, you could ask those questions maybe at the end. But let us aim to look at some habits of happiness and look at some strategies to create happiness. Now, one of the areas that is very useful to explore is if we create a mindset where we can see, what is the word? See the wisdom of every situation. If we create a mindset where we can just be observer in any situation, if we create a mind, is it able to create a mindset that whatever the situation is, we are able to emotionally not be affected? That mindset is a more healthy mindset, and that mindset will allow us to stay with positive emotions. Do you think it is possible to create a mindset that no matter what the situation you are in, no matter what the interaction is like, you can use that situation to empower yourself, or at least remain neutral and not be emotionally affected? Do you think that is possible? Yes. What kind of a mindset would that be? Calm and peaceful. But if your external situations are peaceless, what is required internally to remain peaceful? Strength. Mm-hmm.
Those who wants to share from Zoom, you can unmute yourself.
Anyone would like to say?
Detachment.
Detached, if there is internal detachment. Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Or any other thoughts? What mindset do we need in any situation to not be emotionally affected by that situation? I mean, what Jeannie said is right, detached, but is there another way to say it? Because detachment is such a big word and everybody always kind of, okay.
Is stable.
Stable. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but what mindset would allow you to be stable?
Mindset of remembering we are souls.
Mindset that you remember that you are a soul. Mm-hmm.
And another thing could be acceptance. Acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Or something like this too shall pass.
I can't. I can't.
Or maybe it's focus.
Focus. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear the other thing.
No, I was just trying to say that keep telling your mind, this too shall pass.
Do you understand?
No, I mean the phase what you're going through, that will pass also.
Okay. Okay. Knowing that whatever is happening, it will pass. No storm, every storm ends at some time. Anything else? We have been mentioning this sometimes in talks also. And the mindset of a traveler, the mindset of a guest. You know, people come and they visit some place, but whatever is happening in that place, they kind of hold that observer attitude. They are not necessarily emotionally pulled or sucked in. Observing it, knowing it, learning from it, maybe even enjoying it, maybe even, but not getting pulled in and trapped in it and not emotionally affected by it. That traveler mindset, that guest mindset, you go by, you see, you observe, you learn, you appreciate, but you move on. You don't get stuck. That is a very useful strategy to maintain an inner smile, an inner contentment, an inner state of stability and peace. And so it is very useful to explore and experiment with that mindset in the context of your inner happiness, in the context of your inner smile, and in the context of not fluctuating all the time emotionally, which will not favor your health. And so we have a little meditation exercise, about 7 minutes or so, on this mindset of a guest. And we will play it now, and you try and see if you can follow. And the words that are spoken, but whilst the words are spoken, you internally aim to imbibe it, try to experience that in your mind. And at the same time, observe what you feel. Yeah, just 7 minutes or so is the meditation on this consciousness of a guest. For a few minutes, we reflect on the inner being, the higher being. Withdrawing our attention from sounds, movements, and actions, and turning to that what is subtle and eternal. We enter the experience of silence and light. And whilst thinking with courage and sincerity about the real nature of things, one realizes that the inner being is from a different dimension, another world. The inner being does not belong to this earth. The real I does not belong to the physical universe. The real I, in a true sense, is a guest in this world, a guest in this body. The guest can temporarily use anything, but doesn't own those things. A guest enjoys the beauty and the newness of it all. Enjoys the variety, but needs nothing. A guest has his home and family and everything at home. A guest is free to come and go. And is amused by every scene that presents itself. There is no question of possessing anything. And as a consequence, in the guest consciousness, there is no fear of losing anything, nor anyone. Such joy, such calm, there is entertainment in being a guest. Nothing is mine, so I can't lose anything ever. No worries, no stress, no need for attachments or dependencies or ego. What a relief! The mind becomes so calm and so serene. Feelings of deep, solid peace emerge. A guest appreciates and respects, delights and plays, shares and cares. A guest stays light and enjoys the visit. Internally free to learn, to appreciate, and to love in a clean way. Without expectations, without getting stuck in attachments. It is a temporary visit to Earth. A guest can leave it all behind in a second. A guest is free. So, what did you observe within yourself? Sensations, and what, even physical sensations, what kind of physical sensations happened?
Yeah. More vibrations and different kinds of vibrations, more coarse and finer, some pain.
One thing that in myself I observed when I really captured this mindset, there was a certain calm. Body as if relaxes. Anyone else? Anzu? Peace? I forgot to mention there is a translation in French. Those who would like translation in French, you can just click on the interpretation sign, that globe with, and you could get the translation in French. That is right, isn't it, Melody? Yeah. She's translating. Yeah, so during the exercise, this is what I was observing within my own body. A certain deeper relaxation happened. More I could concentrate, relaxation, and as if body also returns to like a more natural rhythm. Now, the aim would be to hold this and to go through your daily activities with this mindset. So even when the body is in action and we're talking and interacting, if we can hold this kind of detached observer mindset, this guest, the inner being, the soul is visiting on this planet, visiting in this body. It kind of makes a more stable inner environment, and that favors many things, but it definitely favors the physical health also. Anyone else want to share? Someone was saying peace,
I felt lighter.
light, yeah, lightness, lighter. Do we all agree that our mind and our emotions and our inner state, it affects our body? I don't think that needs lots of explanation, and that is not rocket science. And an easy way to check that, if there is a dog here barking and showing his teeth to you, your heart rate will go up. your maybe your skin will get goose pimples, and you will get the sensation of fear, and you want to run. And so there are all kinds of emotions and a bodily reaction connected to this feeling of fear. So we all know that our emotions, our mental state is connected with bodily reactions. And so for illness, there will, and health and illness both, it will be clear that the mind favors health if the mind is in a healthy state. And the mind will have a negative effect on the body if the mind is not in a healthy state. Maybe even the effect of our mind is much bigger than we think. But at least we can start experimenting in creating a mind that is more happy. Now, what are good strategies for happiness, except this strategy that we just were talking about? This guest consciousness, this detached observer mindset. Generally, in the world, there are these ideas that we consciously or subconsciously have about happiness. Now, if you do a survey and ask at random people, what do you think will make you happy? What do you want in life and think would make you happy? There are a few things that are actually a bit cliche. We think money might make us happy. People desire fame, to be famous. That will make me happy. To be beautiful, that will make me happy. There's some of these cliche things that we think, maybe we don't even say it, but it is subconsciously there. We strive for it. We long for it. We want to go on vacations. We want to travel the world. We want to have lots of things, a bigger car or a bigger house, but when actually they study this, say, for example, people who are famous, they don't find that people who are famous are generally more happy nor healthy compared to people who are not famous. Actually, people who are famous might have some more insecurities because of having to maintain their fame. People who are wealthy, rich, what they find in research is that after a certain level of wealth, if certain basic needs are fulfilled, more wealth doesn't make people more happy. So if they're, at least they are beyond poverty, beyond, there's some house and some basic things are there, food, more wealth doesn't make people more happy.
I had a very important phone call with Benjamin Netanyahu in his days after Israeli forces taken.
You want to say something, Susan?
Yes.
Mike is
Sorry.
on.
No, I pushed the wrong button. Sorry. Sorry.
And the same with beauty. People who strive for beauty or certain physical beauty, it is not true that they are more happy nor more healthy necessarily than those who are considered not so beautiful. So we have these funny ideas in our head about what makes us happy. And maybe that is where a big area is that we can improve, finding the right strategy for that inner smile. And that will tremendously help the physical condition. And it will help us deal with that physical condition. So first of all, it is good to identify for yourself. What are your strategies for happiness? I have a friend who all the time thinks of food. So when she thinks of food, and when she's not thinking of food, she is buying food or preparing food or eating. So one time I asked her why you always about food. She says, because food makes me happy. Please check your mic. If you want to say something, it's fine, but and so she believes food makes her happy, but she has a health issue around food. She's overweight and she has diabetes, so the doctors constantly tell her she has to eat less. But deeper inside, she is convinced, or she feels food makes her happy. But that is not a strategy that is really sustainable. That is not a strategy that works for her, because actually it is counterproductive. She's not healthy physically, and that ultimately makes her also not happy. And the thing is, when she is not eating or can't eat, she's not happy either. So it is like a cyclical, what is it? A vicious cycle. Let's go over to the board, try and get things a bit more clear. What is, or is there a message behind illness? What are the reasons for physical illness? Have you ever reflected on that? Or do you think that is just how life is? And some people get ill, some don't. It just falls on your plate, and that's it. Yeah.
Your actions lead to somewhere and some things just follow.
Your actions lead to somewhere. Have you ever, anyone on Zoom, ever reflected on why is there anyway physical illness? And if it is happening with you, can you identify the areas? Or is it just a question of luck, bad luck, or good luck?
A lot of times it has its origins in the mind and things that are affecting us emotionally.
Mm. So let us break it down in a very simple way. Now, if you see this body as a vehicle, now a car is also a vehicle. A car comes with a manual, isn't it? You might not study the manual before you start driving, but it has its manual. See, there are certain things you can do with the car, there are certain things you cannot do with the car. There are certain things you have to, what is it? You have to give gasoline, you have to refresh the water and the oil. There are certain things you have to do to maintain the car, and there are certain things you should not do. For example, the car needs gasoline. If you put ketchup where the gasoline needs to go, the car will not work. And in some cases, it might even break. Car can drive you everywhere. It can take you up the mountains. It can take you to another country. They're driving, but car cannot fly. So you cannot drive it off the cliff and expect it to fly. Or you cannot take it into the river and think it will take you to the other side. There are certain things you can do and certain things you cannot do with a car. Same things with this body. Same thing is with this body. There are certain things what it is made for to do, and there are certain things that it is actually not made for to do. And when we go against the manual, sooner or later, it will break down. And so we had to find out what is the manual of this body. No one told us, but we have to find out. Actually, this body is not meant for stress. This body is not meant for anger. This body is not meant for all the emotions around fear and the feelings and the vibrations around fear. This body is not meant for anxiety. This body is not meant for indulgences and indulgent behavior in search of limited pleasures and then get addicted to those pleasures because they don't last, so you want again and you want more and you want again and you want more. It creates all kinds of fluctuating emotions also. Body was not meant for that. So if we continue to use the body in that way, then in the long run, we are inviting pain and physical illness. And even the sensation of pain, physical pain, it is like a message. It is telling you something you're doing is against nature. Now, sometimes we give this example. If you take your right foot, hold your right foot and try to put it in your neck, what will happen? It won't reach most probably unless you are trained. And there will be pain in the hamstrings, the back of you might not even reach. And that pain is telling you this is not a natural posture of the body. So put your foot back and the pain will subside. But if you insist, there might be damage. If you insist, pain will increase. So this pain, this phenomena of pain, is a messenger. And different illnesses are actually more sophisticated forms of pain mechanisms that are trying to tell you your posture is not right. Your mental posture is not right. The way you're using the body is not sensible. And that is why the body ultimately is not cooperating with you. Now, the mental posture of happiness, a mental posture that creates happiness, that inner smile, is a mental posture that is in the manual for the body, or for how to use the body. But we have created a world culture in which we create a mindset where we are complaining often, where we are often very critical at the outset, where we are mistrusting. Anyone wakes up in the morning with a big smile? Anyone here wakes up in the morning with a big smile? Most probably not many. Now, why is that? Do you go to bed with a smile? No. Why is that? What blocks our happiness? Many will say, oh, this happened to me, this one said this to me, this situation is there, I have this problem, I have that problem. But don't we have a mechanism to extract from those situations something useful, something empowering, something uplifting, that at least we can go to bed with pleasant thoughts? Close your day in a way that, what is the word? That you take from that day something uplifting, some lesson. Anyone want to say anything so far? So there's one strategy, no, for mental health and physical health. Guest consciousness. A second strategy for health, true happiness, is close your day with positive, what is the word? Or positive thoughts or feelings of gratitude. There are, during the day, for most of us, there are many things that are good, many things that are successful, many things that are lessons from which we can learn. So make your day, make your end of the day such that you remember those things. And even if there was a difficult situation, close your day with the understanding of what is the lesson from it.
How about if we start the day with the feeling of gratitude for getting a good night's sleep and for waking up to another day?
Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you can, but if you close your day like this, it is much more easy to start the day like that. And so the third thing is to start the day counting your blessings, counting your powers, reminding the self what you are grateful for. Fourth strategy, but that is more connected with health, is find out what is the manual for your body. Find out for yourself, what is the manual for this body? What are actions that will encourage health? What are actions that will create disturbance? What are activities that help this inner smile? What are activities that take away this inner smile? And one thing that comes from here also is an attitude of learning. People who are curious, people who are wanting to learn, there is a different positivity in their aura, in their vibrations. And this is definitely part of this manual. Body was made to explore. Body was made to find out new things. That curious, learning nature is very useful for a feeling of gratitude, a feeling of calm, a feeling of that inner smile. You want to say anything so far? Then a few words on the practice of meditation. To have a meditative practice, to have a reflective practice is part of your foundation for feeling content, for feeling happy. Now, what is it that we do in meditation? What is the aim of meditation? And how can you learn to do that right? Normally, when we think of ourselves in terms of the body and the physical appearance. We think this is me. And then there are things around, people around. We think this is my friend. This is my money. This is my cell phone. This is my culture, country. This is my house. And there is the body and the bodily extensions, things around. And we identify ourselves as this is me and this is mine. There are some more things. with the practice of meditation, we shift the attention away from all of this. And we become aware, fully aware of ourselves as thinking beings. Thinking beings who are experiencing all of this. Beings of consciousness. Spiritual beings. Invisible beings of consciousness who are experiencing this world for a temporary period, who are experiencing this body for a temporary period. This is not me and this is not mine. This is just a temporary part we are playing, a temporary part we are experiencing. The real me is a non-physical being of consciousness. The word that is used is soul. One who is a guest in this body, a guest on this planet. And in this consciousness, what is called soul consciousness, you approach this world not with wanting to take. You approach this world with an attitude of observing, an attitude of appreciating, an attitude of respecting and loving, an attitude of giving, but not of neediness. And it is this attitude of fullness, inner fullness, and visiting to give, you appreciate. That attitude is the attitude for positive emotions, and that will favor the health of the body itself also. Meditation is about shifting this awareness from this to this. The real self is this living light, a being of peace, a being of love, a being of purity, a being of power, a being of bliss, a being with divine potential. And that being comes in this world to express, to experience, to experiment, but transcends the limitations of matter. And meditation is the process of consciously creating thoughts and this awareness of the self as a soul. And body is a temporary vehicle. And this soul conscious state, that inner smile, is natural and constant. These are some thoughts to begin to explore and experiment for yourself. Create a manual of what should the body be used for and how should the body be used. And create some strategies for that inner smile to be there. If you want to know some more, you are most welcome to explore our other activities and our courses. And this weekend there will be a healing art exhibition here at the center. It is an in-person program. You're all invited, and you're invited to bring your friends and your contacts. Healing art exhibition on inner power. From between 12 and 3, you can stop by anytime. And we will close with a meditation.
Yes, that is also this lecture is also being recorded on Facebook and YouTube. if anyone wants to watch it again, or if you want to share with friends who can benefit from it.
Okay. Thank you. And we will close with a meditation. Can you put? No, the same. Passing through the world of matter, the higher being, the soul, is like a traveler on a journey through time. A traveler does not carry any unnecessary load. He travels light. A traveler enjoys most when he does not contaminate the experiences in the present with the memories of the past or with speculations about the future. Every moment is new and rich and perfect in its own right. Every moment carries its own charm. A traveler does not get entangled in expectations and desires. A traveler is free, free to fly, free to be good, free to do good, free to express beauty, free to be happy, free to love authentically, in a clean way, free to choose that which brings highest joy to all, free to be truthful, free to act wisely. A traveler remains emotionally independent, detached, free. The traveler is light. The traveler travels light. The traveler is the eternal being of subtle light. The traveler is the real I. Thank you.
Thank you, Shanti.
Thank you, Sister Om Shanti.
Mhm. And maybe one final thought, the real one big enemy of happiness is expectations. Just for you to reflect on and to check. Can you lower your expectations? Proportionately, your happiness will be higher. Less expectations, more happiness, more contentment, and more peace. More expectations, more insecurity and anxiety of whether those expectations will be fulfilled or not. Okay. Good night.